If you would come up and stand on the right side of the podium, please. The right side of the podium, your left side towards the American flag, and spread out. We ask that the rest of you, please, be respectful. There is a time to clap at the end of each team award, but please don't hoop and holler and clap in between. There are parents and people watching from outside, and we don't need the hooping and hollering, but clapping is fine when appropriate, all right? Are we ready, Mr. Thompson? All right, so welcome again to the Wilson Christian Academy Middle School and JV Fall Athletic Awards. At this time, I would like to introduce Coach Mrs. V and her assistant, Mr. Vibo, and the JV volleyball team, if you would come forward.
All right, good afternoon. Hey ladies, I've missed you. It's good to see you. All right, our season began the first week of August with tryouts, and the roster for the 2021 season was set. Logan Balance, Natalie Durden, Katie Graham, Malia Hughes, Lily Hoskins, Ella Mae Linhart, who has transferred out. I'm sorry she's not here today. Rachel Martin, Emma Mercer, Allie Smith, Alyssa Tate, Chloe Villaverde, and Alyssa Waddell. First game was August the 20th against New Life Camp, so it was time to get to work. We had many skill levels on this team. Some had played since 6th grade, and others had never played, so we started with fundamentals. Because of our schedule, we didn't have many practices during the season, so we had to work fast. We suffered an opening loss against New Life Camp, but bounced back with a close 2-set win at Cary Academy. Now we were on the right track. We made the best of our practices and had to make adjustments during games, and the girls did a great job. We pulled out another close 2-set win against Grace of Sanford, then cruised to victories against Friendship and Bethel. Even though Dash handed us our second loss, I felt we were making improvements. One of our biggest challenges of the season was playing Rocky Mount Academy. It was a close match in the first 2 sets with scores of 25-21 and 23-25 to take us to a third and deciding set. We were able to pull out an exciting 15-10 win, and some other highlights of our season was a 3-set victory against East Wake Academy, being able to beat Friendship twice, also having 2 wins against Wilmington, and the second being the final match of the season. We finished our season with an overall record of 13-5, and I'm very proud of what this team was able to accomplish. I think we were just getting everything figured out, and the season was over. I do want to mention some of our game high stats. Allie had 11 kills against Wayne Christian. Emma had 11 kills against Rocky Mount Academy. Malia had 16 assists against Wayne Christian. Chloe had 7 digs against Greenville. Alyssa had 8 digs against Rocky Mount Academy. And Logan had 11 service points against Friendship. I'm thankful for each one of these young ladies and their hard work this season. Before we get to the awards, I'd like to give some thank yous. Thank you to you parents. Your support at both home and away games was incredible. Thank you for doing whatever was necessary to make our season a success. I would especially like to say thank you to Mrs. Hughes for faithfully keeping the book. I know it's not always easy to get to the games on time, but you were always there. Thank you, varsity players, for your willingness to scrimmage during practice. They didn't always help you, but they always helped make us better. Thank you, Mr. Troll, for all you do to keep things running smoothly, keeping up with physicals and forms for each athlete, booking our schedule, arranging dismissal times, making sure we all have transportation to games, and many other things behind the scenes that we do not see. Thank you to Mr. Vibo for always being willing to help with practices, drills, rotations, and whatever else I needed. Thank you for your help during the games and your willingness to coach alongside me. Your help this season was invaluable, and I so enjoyed getting to coach with you, my son. Thank you, Mr. V, for putting up with our crazy schedule and spending many evenings at home alone, then listening to my post-game analogies. Before we get to the actual awards, I would like to recognize one of our players. This young lady played for the first time this season. She had a sweet spirit and was eager to learn. I watched as she mastered each skill with hard work and determination. There were a few games when we had a player out and she was able to step into that position. I would like to recognize Rachel Martin with a special certificate for the most improved player this season. All right, our first award is the Offensive Award. This young lady worked hard in each practice, and I know she also worked outside of practice. She was determined to get better, and it showed as the season progressed. By the end of the season, she was playing her best volleyball. She was a consistent server, passer, and hitter. The Offensive Award goes to Allie Smith. Our next award is the Defensive Award. This is a young lady we depended on the most to get a ball, anywhere on the court. She made some amazing saves this year and got balls over the net as I watched in amazement. She worked hard and always encouraged her teammates. The Defensive Award goes to Chloe Villaverde. The last award is our Coach's Award. This award goes to a young lady who is our biggest cheerleader. She did not get to play as much as she would have liked, but she understood her role as a teammate and fulfilled it to the best of her ability, many times putting her teammates first. Every win and loss was personal, whether she stepped foot on the court or not. She worked hard in every practice, doing whatever she could to improve her skills, and always with a smile. The Coach's Award goes to Katie Graham. Thank you, ladies. It was a great season. And I wish you well, as many of you are playing basketball. A great season.
Here's everyone's name on it and number.
Thank you. Thank you. I love these balls. Thank you.
Love you. Hug me. Don't cry. No. Yeah, I didn't announce it. I just gave it to her. Here.
Good job, ladies. Congratulations to the JV volleyball team on a great season, and a special thank you to Mrs. V and Mr. Vibo. Our next team is our middle school soccer team and Coach John Osley.
All right, how you doing? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Am I on? Can you hear me? All right, how you doing? All right, we'll go ahead and get started. As you can see, I've got a good group of guys up here. Got a lot of guys. Had a big team this season. I'll talk a little bit about our season. We are a young team. Raise your hand if you're in 6th or 7th grade. All right, raise your hand if you've never played soccer before this year. All right, so we're a young team. I will say I have never in my life seen a group of 6th grade and young 7th grade guys that absolutely go out there, and it doesn't matter if they're small. Right, my man? That's what I'm talking about. Look, right here, come on. It doesn't matter. I've seen some real fight out of these guys, and I'm just here to tell you guys, I appreciate that. I really appreciate your willingness to go out there. Let's be honest. Were we always the most skilled team? No. We played some good teams this year. Did we always score a goal in every single game? No, we did not. But did we leave some bruises on some other people? Absolutely. Did we go out and make people remember our school? Absolutely. Okay, and that's because some of these 6th grade and 7th grade guys have never played before. They came out this year, and there were some of them, I can name about 3 of them right off the top of my head, that started every game, and I never, ever took them out the entire season. And I think that says a lot about you guys. And I just wanted you to know before I get to any of the awards, I really appreciate that. Okay, moving on. I'll get to my first award here. It's not often in sports, especially middle school sports, it's not often that you have a single player who, I don't know how I want to put this, who is physically dominant and just bigger and stronger than literally everybody else on the field, the coaches included and the referees. And I had one of those players this year. And we were struggling as a team to score. We went about 3 or 4 games without, I didn't say a goal, but without a shot. And we were struggling as a team. Now, we were playing awesome on defense. People weren't scoring against us, but we couldn't score. And I remember we decided, let's make a change. So we put Mr. Adair Ortiz up at forward. And I remember, Adair, do you remember seeing the fear in the other team's defense's eyes? Like, it's like, oh no, what have we unleashed? And that's kind of what we got into. And I'll tell you, Adair was responsible for about 75% of our team's goals this season. Once Adair got the ball, it didn't matter where he was. It didn't matter if he was at midfield, because didn't we take some shots from midfield here? Didn't matter where we were. Adair was a threat to score. So this year, my offensive award goes to Adair Ortiz. All right, I'll get to my next award here. I truly wish that I had a lot of awards, because there are guys that I could give awards that I'd love to, but I don't quite have that luxury. My next award is a guy that he's played with us. This was his second year playing with us. And I've seen him get better. You often see players get better from year to year. You don't always see players get better from game to game, or even more than that, practice to practice. And this guy was one of those guys. Each and every game, he stepped it up. And at the end of the year, as an 8th grader, he was playing defense alongside 3 6th graders. Now, that's a big job. That's a big job. And I remember one of our specific games we played at home, by himself, I promise you, he saved about 4 goals. And that was a major, major moment for our team and for his career. So my defensive award this year goes to Arturo Riverosa. All right, for my last award, and I'll get up out of here. My last award goes to a guy that single-handedly, my coach when I used to play used to say this phrase. We had a really good player, and he said he always used to save our bacon, right? And this player single-handedly kept our team in almost every single game we played. Every single game we played this season, the entire season, was decided by either 1 goal or a tie. Every single game but one. And this player single-handedly kept our team in the game. And as his last name suggests, he was a brick wall for our team. So my coach, that was bad. I'm really sorry. My coach's award this year goes to our goalie, David Wall. Appreciate it, man. Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Congratulations to the middle school soccer team on their season, and thank you again to Coach Owsley. Our next team is our middle school volleyball team and Coach Brewer. And just a reminder, please keep the talking down when the coaches are presenting, all right? Be respectful. Thank you very much.
All right, as the middle school girls come forward, I know we're trying to make Carline, and I'm known for talking really fast. So I'm going to try to get in as much as I possibly can, as quickly as possible. We played 14 games this season. We went for the very first time all the way to Bellhaven, went to Pungo Christian, and then we played all the way in Raleigh. We only played 3 home games. Of the 14 games that we played, we won 10, which is a huge accomplishment for us. We would like to say, well, sometimes we play JV teams, so that wasn't really fair, but we held our own against them every single time. Before we get into this season, I do want to say thank you to the parents. We had parents that came to every single game, no matter where we were. They were our cheering section. They were our line judges, which every parent hates to do, but we expect all of them to fulfill. And then we had parents that kept the book for us, and anyone who's ever coached before, you know how irreplaceable those people are that can come in and help take care of that side of things while you coach and take care of your team. So of our games that we played, and some of you were able to come to some of them, I think if you've ever played a sport before, you have like the most memorable game of the season. And ours, I think we can collectively agree, was playing Wayne Prep. We had never played them before, and there was a little bit of drama involved in the game, but the game itself was my favorite game for them to play, to watch them play, and for me to be able to coach. We took them to 3 sets in volleyball. In middle school volleyball, it's best out of 3. So we lost the first set, 24-26. And the last 2 points are a little bit questionable with the line judge, but neither here nor there. We lost the first set. And so we knew, and the girls knew, that we had to step it up in the second set, and we had to win that one in order to be able to go on to the third. And I don't think they even realized, I had to go back in the book today and look, but Malia Davis went out on the court and served from point 3 to point 14. And then we had 1 or 2 servers in between them. And then Jada Purdy came on the court and served from point 13 all the way to point 25. We ended up beating them in the second set, 25-7. And their coach, he wasn't a happy person in general, but he wasn't very happy at the end of that set. And those, my girls felt it. There was a lot of build-up in the gym, a lot of tension, a lot of excitement. We went into the third set, and we were down. And Olivia, bless her heart, she had not been able to serve the whole game because she just couldn't take the number of steps she needed to be able to get her serve over. And so I had started pulling her and letting Allie Miller serve in her place. And we were down, I think, 11-12. And I said, Olivia, come sit down. You can't handle it. Please let somebody else. And she said, no, Coach, I've got it. I'm like, okay, it's your 8th grade year. I'm going to let you hopefully not lose the game for us. And she went back and served the most beautiful 4 serves I have ever seen in her serving career. And Olivia is as inconsistently consistent as any player I have ever met before in my life. And that's a loving compliment because when she's on, she's on. When she's off, she can just be my assistant. But when she's on, you better watch out. And those girls did not know what was coming. Those 4 serves came out. We even got accused. I got accused of cheating. I'm like, how do you cheat in volleyball? I did not feed her Wheaties on the sidelines. She just went out and did what she was capable of doing. But we had a great season. We spent a lot of time on the road, a lot of sing-alongs and a lot of talking. The middle school girls, they talk a lot. But we spent a lot of time traveling and enjoyed every minute. Some of these girls I've coached since 6th grade, and they're going to go on to do great things in JV and other sports. But just real quick, before I give out the awards, each of the 8th grade girls, I was sitting there, I was like, well, what do you, like with each one of them, what do you think about me as a coach when you think about that person? Catherine Joyner, she said this about herself, so I'm just going to repeat it. She said, I have a bad game and I cry, and then I get mad at myself for crying, and then I cry more. But she did amazing, but she did, the phrase for her was, there's no crying in volleyball. Emma Job is the nicest, most respectful player you will ever play with. If you've ever played a sport with her, you know that. She's going to look out for you. She's going to take care of you. She's like the mom of the team. Malia Davis does not realize how good she is. She's very, very hard on herself, but she's great. Olivia, I already said this about her. She is on fire when she's on fire, and when she's off, just put her in the back row. But she's amazing. She did her freshman year. We would joke she would serve it all the way to Pennsylvania. I'm like, honey, it's the white lines. You got to serve in the white lines. She can hit the back wall of the gym with the best of them. Melanie Raper, her favorite phrase is, Coach, I don't know what happened. I'm so sorry. It'll never happen again. I promise if I go back out there, I won't make the same mistake. And she got better and better as the season went on. And then Maggie Rouse is just your quietly amazing player that not in a mean way. You kind of forget they're there and how good they are, and you put her out on the court, you're like, wow, look at what you've accomplished. And she got better. She came to tryouts, and I'm very leery of taking an 8th grader on as a first-year player. And she and Melanie both came out and just blew us away. Mrs. Willard and I were both there, and we're like, wow, look at, I don't know why they haven't come out before, but did amazing and just continued to get better throughout the season. All right, the awards that I'm going to give out, I think the first young lady doesn't even have a clue, but the offensive award, with middle school volleyball, we don't keep stats like JV and varsity do, but I do count the number of points scored from the serving line, and I counted up everybody's. That took a long time, but this young lady scored 77 points from the back line, meaning that in volleyball, you can serve it over and lose it in the serve, the other team scores. She scored 77 points for us, so my offensive award goes to Malia Davis. All right. The next young lady, the whole team can agree with me. She was the most capable of getting injured. At every single practice or game, Coach, I hurt my finger, I hurt my leg, I hurt my hip, I can't walk, I can't do. I'm like, do you need to sit down? No, I'm fine. I can go back out there and play. And the reason that she was the most capable at getting hurt is because she's going to give absolutely everything last season, including coming out of her shoes, to make sure the ball did not touch the floor. So my defensive award for the second year in a row goes to Katie McBride. And then my last award, if you've ever played on a team, you've probably played with a player like this. Parents, if you've ever coached, you've had a player. This is the player that when you put them on the court, you know they've got it. If you need them to serve, they're going to serve. If you need them to cover the back line, they're going to cover the back line. They step up in a big way, and they're the player that you can rely on the most. The person that you look to just be consistent every single time and to do what they're capable of. And so this year, the Charger Award goes to Maddie Rennell. Good luck to the 8th graders as they move on next season, and to the rest of them, I'll see you in August. Also, I gave out game balls to people towards the beginning of the season, and then I kind of forgot as the game went on, as the season went on. So if you did not get a ball, please come see me, and I'll get one for you. All done?
Congratulations to the middle school volleyball team, and thank you again to Coach Brewer on a successful season. Our last team today, if you'll come up, is the middle school cross-country team and Coach Kaufman.
Middle school girls can come up too if you want to. Middle school girls. There's 2 more, wherever you are. All right, 1 more. Is Leighton here? Where's Leighton? Get up here. All right. I was very privileged to be able to coach the middle school cross-country teams again this season. I'm very thankful that this year we had some girls and some boys, and it's like it alternates every other year. 2 years ago, we only kind of had a boys team and didn't really have any girls team. And then last year, we only had a girls team, and I only had 2 returning runners from last year. So we only had 2 boys last year and didn't make it, or three boys last year, didn't make a whole team. And then this year, we had a lot of guys, as you can see. And then all the girls ended up getting pulled up to varsity by the end of the season. So we didn't have a girls team in the middle school state meet because they did well enough to run with the varsity girls, which is awesome and great for them and proud of them for that. But I was very thankful we have a full boys team this year, but all of our runners were new this year with the exception of 2. And so I was thankful for all of our new runners. They brought a lot of new energy, and as most of the new runners were 6th graders. We had to learn about cross country and learn about running, and we were out sweating it out in August, doing hard workouts. And then by the end of it, our last 2 meets, we were freezing cold and it was raining. And so it was a wide range of weather conditions for the season, but it was very good. They all got to compete in the state meet, and so we were thankful for that as well. We saw everyone on the team improve throughout the year, and so that was a very good thing. And many of them improved their PRs by quite a bit, and I have all of the improvements that were made, but I have a few awards that I want to recognize, a few recognizable athletes that improved. And so I have a most improved award, and I'm going to save that for just a second. Second to the most improved award, I have big improvement. So these guys improved a lot, but it's very difficult when everybody's at different times and different paces. We can compare their times, and they may have run faster than the other one in certain races, but if someone is starting out faster and then they improve by 4 minutes, and then someone else starts out a little bit behind them but improves by 5 minutes or over 5 minutes, how do we compare those things? And so that was difficult to do. I did as much of the analytics side of it as I could with the comparing and how much they improved throughout the season, especially on our home course here at the Pumpkin Run. We had a lot of PRs. And so I have 4 young men that I believe deserve the Big Improvement Award. And so this is kind of improved just a little bit less than the most improved, but still huge improvements. And again, everybody improved a lot, and I'll be giving everybody their individual how much you improved this season. But for those 4 that earned the Big Improvement Award, I have a certificate for you for that. And those were Asher Wolf, Camden Bridgers, Rylan Ellis, and Bennett Bailey. And all four of those young men are new runners this year, but all did very well and put in the hard work all season to gain those improvements. And again, that's not to say that everyone didn't improve. They all did, but those 4 stood out a little bit, for how much they were able to improve. And one other young man here had the most improved award. And this young man, I didn't ask if it was okay to tell this, but I'm going to go ahead and tell it, Kai. The first meet, he did not want to race. He had come out for cross country, and there was a lot of people there, and he said, I don't know if this is for me. And I said, well, you got to decide. We're going to the starting line, and we want you to come, but it's up to you. So we went to the starting line, and then sure enough, he came over, and he ran, and I don't know if you would say you had a good time that first race or not. It was kind of hot, and they were still getting in shape at the beginning, and toward the middle of the season, he really got it. But by the end of the season, especially here at the Pumpkin Run and then also at the state meet, his pace per mile at both of those runs were almost the same, and the state meet course is a good bit longer and a little bit more difficult. So to run almost the exact same pace is a very good accomplishment at the state meet as at the Pumpkin Run. But he had a huge improvement from the beginning of the season until the Pumpkin Run and the state meet, and that is our most improved runner for this year is Kai Kagi. Next, I have an MVP award, and this young man was our #1 runner last year, so he was one of our returners, and he was also the #1 runner this year for the majority of the season, and he wasn't at the end of the season, and we'll talk about why in just a minute, but this is Caleb Gillen, and he was our top runner last year, like I said, one of the 2 returners. He ran all summer. And that's, we did have some practices throughout the summer, but they're not required over the summer. And then he ran a lot on his own, put in a lot of time and hard work, and he saw the benefits of that by getting a huge PR this year versus last year in the Pumpkin Run. He improved his 4K time here by over a minute on our home course from the Pumpkin Run. He also was able to run up with some of the varsity races, which is a 5K distance, because of all the hard work that he put in. And so he has great things in the future in his running career here at Wilson Christian. And so the MVP award this season goes to Caleb Gillen. I have one final award, and this award is actually because that was a co-MVP award, and we had a very unique circumstance this year. The middle school boys soccer season got finished a little bit early, and our cross-country season was still going on for almost a month of difference because they finished a little early and we finished a little bit later. So we had the opportunity for Colton, who ran cross-country last year, to be able to come and run. We had enough meets left for him to be able to run and then run in the state meet. So he was a great addition to our team, and even just jumping in the middle of the season, he still did well and practiced hard and gave his best every practice, and because of that hard work, he also improved a lot throughout the season, but also he ended up finishing 5th place overall in the state middle school meet, and he actually broke Connor Ford's school course record of 18:45 in that state meet from 2 years ago, and he ran a 17:06 this year in the state meet and finished 5th. So our other co-MVP is Colton Bridgers. I am very proud of all of our runners, and we would like to get back to having Wilson Christian middle school boys and girls be able to compete and get first or second in the state, and we have a bright future ahead with all of our young guys coming back next year to be able to compete against some of the other teams we raced against this year. And I'm proud of every single one of them and the hard work that they put in. I'm thankful to have been able to coach them this year. So thank you guys so much.
Congratulations to the middle school cross-country team and Coach Kaufman on a great season. Again, we would like to congratulate all our athletes for fall season, great fall season. Thank you again to all of our coaches for their time, energy, effort, and dedication. And we thank you for the parents and the time investment that they put in as well. I'm going to close in a word of prayer, and then we're going to dismiss you. When I dismiss you, please use the door back there or this door right here, and you need to go down to the connector to exit. Don't go out these front two doors right here. Go down to the connector and exit. Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for the talents and gifts you have blessed us with. We thank you for the ability to use those. We thank you for these young people and the families they represent. We thank you for the safety that you provided this season as we played and as we traveled, and we thank you for the lessons we learned in both victory and defeat, Lord. Pray that you'll bless these young people as they go home tonight. Give us a great day tomorrow, and it's in your name we pray. Amen. You're dismissed.